All right. So today we will talk about the, uh, you know, IAM, which is Identity Access Management. So what is Identity Access Management? Let us understand with some example. So I'll open MS Paint. Let me close this. Okay. So we'll talk about the Identity Access Management. See, so far what we have seen that we can create the EC2 instance. So this EC2 instance, you have created it because you are the owner at this moment. Okay. So when you are the owner, you can perform any task. You can delete the resource, you can create the resource. So we have created EC2 instances through launch template. We have created the EC2 instances directly, right, through the console. We will see with the AWS CLI also, we can create that. But as I mentioned earlier, that step by step, we will discuss everything. Now, this EC2 instance you have created. Now, most of the time, what happens whenever you are a solution architect, or when you are supporting the whenever you are supporting AWS, so at that time you are not only the one who is working on AWS. There is a team. Okay, so consider you have a team, and that team you are leading with. Okay, so you are the admin, right? So it means admin can do anything. Okay, admin can do anything. Anything in the sense they can delete they can delete the EC2 instance. I'm taking the example of EC2 instance because so far we have discussed about the EC2 instance, but there are so many other services which admin has a full permission, right? Where and the others may not have the full permission. For example, you have created EC2 instance and you want others cannot delete my EC2 instance. So you need to create users because, uh, for example, you are working for a client, and for that client, you have created one EC2 instance and you deploy that client's website on it. Now you want no one should touch on this except you. Okay, so then you need to define the uh, who are the others. Maybe others are monitoring the application. They don't want to change or touch the application, but they need to monitor the application. They need to see the hardware resources, how much is used, etc. So whenever there is a project, in a project, there are multiple resources. Operation team is there, testing team is there, development team is there, networking team, and firewall team. There are bunch of teams in a big project. And in one team, there are many resources. For example, developer, 3 developers, 10 developers, tester, 5 tester, right? Operation team, 10 members because they are supporting 24 by 7. And all are using AWS, for example, if your project is on AWS. So you as an administrator, you need to manage all these team members. You need to create their account. You need to manage their permissions through policies. Do you understand what is the purpose of this administration? Means why we need it?
Yes,
Because, yeah, because multiple users,
yes.
multiple resources are working on it. Yeah, you have any question?
Right. So basically, admin gives the access.
Yes. So, for example, if I say, if I create one EC2 instance and you are also having access to my AWS account, but you are not allowed to delete that. You are not allowed to edit it. So then we are using the Identity Access Management, which is also known as IAM. It is,
Like we have that view only or edit only option.
yeah, yeah. So this is called Identity Access Management, right? So what this Identity Access Management is, it is doing. With the help of that, we can create groups. See, there is a developer group. In developer group, there are 3 developers, and I want to give the same permission to all these 3 developers. So what I will do, I will create a group first, and I will add all the users into that particular group, and I will apply the permission on the group. So in future, if any other developer joins that team, so I will just put that user or add that user into that group so that that user will have the similar permission. So we can create groups, we can create users. You can give the you can add a single user into multiple groups also. Okay, that we will see practically. You can create the roles. Roles is a little bit different from the groups or permissions or users. Roles, it is service wise, and we will discuss in detail. We will see one use case of this. Then you will understand that roles are very much required to to uh, to apply the policies or permissions on the services. Services like EC2 instance, S3 bucket, etc. We also use a term policy. Policy means permission. Now you can create the permissions. In AWS, we use the JSON document. Okay, JSON document policy. But it is easy to create. You need not to mug up anything. Once we reach to that part, we will discuss. So permissions are in the form of policies. We will also see the identity providers. Okay. So all these topics, this is a big topic. Maybe it will take 2 to 3 classes, or could be a little bit more to finish this topic. Okay, for solution associate architect point of view. Okay, so now first, what I will do, I will create a group. Okay, so I'm going to create. So we will. So let's associate with some case study. Consider there are 3 developers. Okay, and these 3 developers, and their name is Dev1, Dev2, and Dev3. So these are 3 developers, those who are working on a project. They need full access to EC2 instances, S3 buckets. S3 bucket we have not discussed, but this is one of the service. Okay, S3 bucket. Full access means they can create, delete, read, whatever they want to do with the EC2 instances. So they can perform those tasks. Okay, so uh, that is what I want. So developer 1, developer 2, developer 3, 3 users, they need a full access. So to solve this problem, I will create a group. So as a administrator, I will create a group, and group name I will give dev group. So let us go to our AWS console and create that group. So I will go to my console. Here, you need to search for IAM, or you can go to the services. Under the services, you can um, you can find under that is security identity, right? So here also you will find the IAM. Either you can check it from here. Let me put a asterisk because we need to use regular. I will put this asterisk here also, identity set. So now these are here, or I can search from here. I am clicking on IAM. So as I mentioned that we will create a group called dev group, and we will create 3 users. Okay, so step by step we will see. So I'll close this. So I will go here. So this is the IAM dashboard. So here you can see access management. You can click on user group to create the user. Now I'm creating a user. Creating a group. So I already have one group. So let me delete this group because as of now it's not required. We will create everything from the scratch. Right. So what I'll do, I will select this. I will go to my groups. Uh, there is no group. You know, it was showing. Okay, maybe user. That was a user, is it? Oh, it's a user, not a group. So I will delete this user. I just need to give the user name because we will create from the scratch. By default, you are having your root account. Root is there is a difference between root and administrator. Root means whenever you have created that account, you are the root user. Root has extra permission than the administrator. What extra permission? Like you can see the billing, you can see the cost, you can set the budget, but admin cannot do that. Okay. So these kind of things, that's why there are two kind of groups. One is the root level and one is admin. So that is root is always having almost 100% access. Okay. So now what I'll do, I will create a group. I will go to group, easy, create a group. Now here, I will create a group. I will give a name, as I mentioned, dev group, right? So we'll create a dev group. As of now, I'm not adding any user because we don't have. Now here you can see attach the permission. What permission you want to give? So here, if I say I want to give full access to EC2 instance and S3 bucket. So down here, you can see the permission. You see there are hundreds of permissions, right? Not 100, 1040 permissions are there. So you can create your own. Actually, this number could be changed, right? But at this moment, maybe I have created my custom policy. So that policy also I can define, and then it will be 1041. So now I want to give the EC2 level access. So best way to search is go to this search box and search for EC2. Now here it will filter out all the permission related to EC2. We need the EC2 full access. So I will select this one. Now here you can see that in the permission, I have selected this. Now next, I want to search for S3 related thing. So I will search for S3. So you can see S3 full access, right? So these two permissions I want to give and I want to create a group. Now this group is created, right? So dev group is create a group and add permission, which is EC2 full access without space, full access, and S3
And S3.
full access. Now
Correct.
this, yeah, so this will have full access. Now our next part is we have created the group. Now we will create the users. So create users. Which users? Create user dev1, create user dev2, and dev3. Okay, create these three users and add them in uh, in dev group. So then they will have the same permission, EC2 full access and S3 bucket. You are understanding what I'm doing?
Yes, you're creating the users and giving them the same group. So they all will have the same permission, same access.
That's great. Yeah. So I'm going to users and I will create a user. Actually, here you can create one by one user. Now this is console. The GUI portion of the AWS is called console. I'm creating dev1 user. Okay. And I will provide the console access. So now it is saying if you are creating a console access, specify a user in identity center recommended. So identity center is different. Actually, there is a single sign-on, right? So we will talk about that. Uh, but at this moment, we are not talking about the identity center point means that topic. Once we will create that topic, then I will explain you what is this user means. At this moment, I want to create a IAM user. Okay. And now it is saying there will be one auto-generated password for this user, or you want to create your own password. So when you create your own password, you need to follow these instructions. Must be eight character long, must be at least uh, three following mixed characters, capital A to Z, capital small a to Z, 0 to 9, and this symbol. So we will do one thing. We will for one user, we'll create the auto-generated password. Now, if you check mark this option, user must create a new password in next sign in. So it means whenever user is login first time, it will prompt that change the password. So if you want, then tick mark. If you don't want, then remove this tick mark. I say next. Now it is saying, do you want to add this into a group, or you want to copy the permission, etc. Actually, we are giving the permissions. When we are giving the permission, we need to tell whether it is through a group, or you want to copy the permission from uh, some other group memberships, or you want to directly attach the policy on this group. So we will add into a group. Which group? Dev group. Actually, I'm not going to attach. If you until unless you check mark this, that user will not be added into that group. So I will just leave it as it is. No permission. Because I want to show you that how it will work without permission and with permission. Now here you want to add some tag, you can add a tag. Tag is not mandatory, but sometimes it is useful. So I will say add and dev1 user. Okay. Now I will say create user. Now I don't see that auto-generated user password, right? So here you can see the password, or down here you can see you can download the CSV file. So let us download this CSV file. In this CSV file, it will have the credential detail. If I open this, it will have the credential detail for this user. So this is the username, this is the password, right? So you are creating a user, this is the password, and you will give this URL to that user. So let us copy this URL, and I will go and I will open a Cognito window. So incognito window, and I will paste that URL. Now, so consider this is basically the one which I am giving it to the user. Now you might maybe surprising. What is this? This is the account ID which is managed by the root user. Okay. Now username. So you can copy the username from that Excel sheet or CSV file, which is dev1, and this is the password. Okay, I will copy the password. Name I understand. So username. So if you see this, it means under that account there is a user. So which is dev1 and password. Right? This is the password. Now if I because I tick mark that change the password. If you want to see the password, you just say show password. Okay. If you are having some trouble, you can request for the means having trouble, it will go to and ask for the password change. So I'm signing in. When I'm signing in, see, it is saying you need to reset the password, because that is what we have selected. Now, old password you need to copy here, and what is the new password you want to give? So you can give the new password. Okay. So password is matches. Now click on confirm password change. Now password is getting changed, and it is changed successfully. Right. Now,
Changes in the Excel sheet also.
no. Excel sheet is the first time.
Okay.
It is just
And
now.
we have to give the new password after every sign
Yes. So it will be in the AWS
in.
on. Now continue to sign in again. Right. So now I am signed in. Now I will try to create the EC2 instance. Let us see whether, see, you can see there is some permission issue, but now this credential, this URL I had given to that user. Now that user is basically trying to log in, but he is able to log in, but he is not able to do anything. Let us see. So if I search for the EC2 instance, so this is the EC2 instance. Now that user is creating that, right? So now EC2 instance, see, he will not be able to do anything. See, error, everywhere it is error. You are not authorized because there is no permission. I did not add that user into that group. Now what I will do, I have opened the other window. I will add this user into that group. So I will go to the users, right? So this user, right? And I will just click on this. And here, I will go to the groups, right? And add to the group. Which group? Dev group. And I will say add to this. Now dev group is having EC2 full access and S3 full access. So now that permission is automatically assigned. So we will refresh this. Now see that error is gone on EC2 level. But if he is doing something else, S3 also he will full access. Now he will be able to create the EC2 instance. Let us see. So I will just simply select few things. I will select the North Virginia region. So I'll try to create the EC2 instance. Okay. So you can select the key pair. So the key pair which we have created earlier, security group. So this is region wise. This is not user wise. User is globally actually we are creating the users, right? So if you see now, see this user is able to create the EC2 instance, right? It can also be able to delete this because now he has full access to this EC2 instance. Do you understand this?
Yes.
Permissions, create the user, add that user into a group. Now your homework is that uh, you need to create another two user, dev2 and dev3. You need to add it into the dev group. Whatever the EC2 instances you have created so far, you can terminate those EC2 instances so that it will not be unnecessarily extra cost. Now, here in the IAM, when we are talking about, so if I go to my, here, you see here, this is not a region, it is global because users groups we are creating on the global for all the regions. Okay, we are not creating on a specific region. Whereas EC2 instances, S3 buckets, we are creating on the region wise. But this users groups, these are global level. Okay, so now this user has EC2 full access to all the regions. Okay, so means some more restrictions we can add that we will see. Now, your homework is one that you need to create this user. Now, your next thing is that you need to create one test user. Creating user is not chargeable. You need not to pay any money. Okay. You need to create one test user. Okay. And this test user will be under a group, create group called test group. Okay. And they must have EC2 read-only access. And
I
S3,
have to select the permission for EC2 read only.
yes, exactly.
Okay.
Read-only access. So there will be policies, permissions which are related to read-only. You need to provide that. Okay. And you need to user, create a user, which is test one. Okay. And add add it to test group. Okay. Now you need to create one operation uh, operation. Actually, this is team. Actually, we can say this is a team, operation team, dev team, and test team. So operation group you need to create, and which is having OP1 and OP2 users, and they have uh, console access. We will talk about there are two types of access. Programmatically, you can access it, and you can access through the console. So they will have full EC2 read-only access, not read-only, full access, full EC2 access, and read-only access to S3 buckets. Okay, so that will be your homework. Let me put it on the chat window so that you should remember it. Looks easy for you. You can do, means once you watch this video again. That video I'm uploading on the YouTube.
Yes.
So
Okay.
once you see this video, you will be able to. It's a easy busy steps, right? The so we are
Yes.
in a level, easy level at this moment. Slowly
Mm.
we will move to the intermediate level of difficulty. Then we will go to the advanced level. So, but at this moment, I think this is very easy. You just need to create a group permission and add the user, right? Right. Now, there are two types of accesses. One access is called programmatic access. One is console access. Okay. One is console access. Console access means the website access. So far we had given the console access to our users. But if you want to give the programmatic access, what is programmatic access means? Means through program you want to create the EC2 instance. How you can create the through program? See, if you are using Python, you can use create the resources of AWS by using Python. So there is a Boto3 module in Python which basically use that. So it means you are managing your AWS resources through Python, through Java, through .NET. So they are not coming to the, means they can come to the console also, but they need to programmatically access them. So that if, for example, I want to deploy my application, instead of manually doing that, so I want to do some, I want to do some through my program. So I need the programming access. So we will go to programming languages later, but here we will create AWS. We will install on our system AWS CLI, AWS Command Line Interface, which is a utility which we need to install. After that, with that utility through PowerShell or through command prompt, we can connect to our AWS account. Programmatic access needs to know that who you are. Means, for example, I'm connecting from my machine to an account. So I need to prove that I'm Raman Sharma, I'm owner of that account. So for that, there are two keys used, which is just like a password and username. One is called the security key, and there is a access key and security. Access key and security key. So this access key and security key is unique for each person who is using, or each account, not account, each user who is using this AWS. For example, you have created one access key and secret key. In the world, no one else is having the same access key and secret key globally. So it is globally unique. Okay. So in tomorrow's lecture, what we will do, you need to do this homework. You need to revise the previous topics also. Even though these topics will come, in our upcoming lectures also. EC2 we are daily creating, but launch template just walk through one time, right? AWS CLI, tomorrow we will download and install it on our system. And then we will see that how with the command we are connecting to EC2 instances, or how we can, perform the actions with the permission. So IAM is a little bit big topic. I don't think within 2 or 3 days it will be over. It will take 5 to 6 days. If we have, multiple sessions that we can go with in a deep level of this IAM. So I think I can wrap up this session here for today, until unless you have any question.
No, no, no.
Okay, so will you try this?
Yes.
Yeah, and you can message me if there is any question you are having. Bye for now.